Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it is, where you are. We hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another episode of I Could Be Wrong, but I Doubt It. My name is Fresh. We're thankful that you decided to join us today. We're going to jump right into it today, man. I'd like to introduce my partner, who is a connoisseur of all things cultural. He is my podcast crime. Reg, what's going on? King, Big Daddy, Pimp Hustler, Stack Money Pimping.
Damn. Fresh. I hadn't seen you since the last time I saw you, brother. What's new with you, man?
Man, it's up until like I walk around, man, without a mask. It's I'm just trying to stay COVID free, brother. Just trying to stay COVID free.
I feel you, man. And yeah. We had some unfortunate news about a friend of ours. That was sad, man.
Yeah, that shit took me up last night, bro. For real.
Yeah,
it had me shook for a minute. But
man, around the house, man, I'm trying to do some shit I usually don't do, like paint. And so I'm trying to submit to that. And submission is like a commitment to something or whatever. So it's gonna be a task for me, man. So I get through it.
Well, speaking of submission, man, that's actually the topic of today's show, man. Should women submit to men when they're in a relationship? What the fuck you want to call it? Relationship. And this topic came about, man, because it's not by any means a new topic in terms of its value and how people, internalize it and what they believe, in regards to it. But it came up I saw an Instagram post, man, on my personal page, man. And, it just got me wondering, like, why are women even entertaining this conversation? I'm thinking, this shit is a really played out conversation, yet we're going to have it here. But just to kind of, in my eyes, just kind of from my particular perspective, I just want to dead that shit, as far as, give women, some perspectives, some manly perspectives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just kind of go from there, because I really think that it's it's a conversation that if you're single, you probably shouldn't even really be thinking about. And this particular person, I mean, she posts shit all the time about her being single and not having a husband, da 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 da. And I'm thinking, like, why the fuck are you even worried about that? And I'll get into my thought process about why are you even thinking about that as we go along. So so what are your thoughts on it, man?
Man, it's a deep topic, man, and it really is subjective, right? So I know with me, when I hear about submission, or I think about submission from a woman to a man or to their significant other, it's about revealing yourself. I think of it like submitting an application for an employment, right? Or for a loan. You're stripping yourself down. It's like humility, in a sense. You're humbling yourself. You're giving using a scenario, you're giving your social security number, your address, your income status, very private and personal information, and you're submitting it for someone's review, approval, or acceptance. And once they decide, right, then you can, as the applicant in this scenario, receive that offer, right? So you have a choice of that offer. And once you're in the door, you can be yourself. You have a role to play, right, on this team. Right. And so just, I try to break stuff down and like, using analogies. And that's the first thing I thought about when you brought up the submission thing. I was like, you're not lesser than, right? You're just putting yourself in position to reveal some things and be in your truth so that you can be a part of a bigger team. And then once you're on that team, you just play a role, you side by side. It usually falls into an adjective of subservient. I think women think, oh, I ain't being submissive. And I don't know these young girls nowadays, but women, I think women around our age are sort of on the cusp of understanding that, because, you know, our elders have I think have a whole different definition of what submission is, and they show it,
Right.
or have shown it through their long marriages. Usually you see with older couples nowadays, you see shorter length marriages and relationships. So that submission, you know, women's independence, you know, tend to, I think, break up with submitting. I don't need a man. I ain't submitting to a man.
Right.
That's not really, he doesn't own you.
Right.
There's certain things you have to do. So that's my synopsis, man. So I'm sure you got some things on your mind, especially from the post that that you can share.
Let me just break it down like this, because what really fucks with my brain about this is the method in which this type of thinking is passed down. I honestly feel like that it's part of an indoctrination process that we've gone through that has really fucked the game up if you think about it. You know, you talk about using analogies.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the chessboard. What's the most powerful piece on the board?
Queen.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, knowing that, let's just say, turning that into practical application in terms of relationships. If a woman doesn't want to sleep with you, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna get no ass.
Right. You taking your ass home.
Exactly. You know, if a woman doesn't choose you, like you like to say, if a woman doesn't choose you, to be in a particular relationship or particular situation, whatever that situation may be, what are you gonna do?
Hauling ass, man. Nothing.
You understand what I'm getting at? So I think the delivery of these social norms and these you know, pastimes that are archaic and based upon, you know, pseudo religious constructs.
Yeah.
You got to think about where you get this shit from. I'm talking to women. You got to think about where you get this shit from.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, are you conducting your life based on, you know, some type of religious belief to where you automatically think that you fall into this, that your intrinsic value is based on what a book says? Is that what we talk about? You know what I'm saying? Is that where you get your strength from? Is that where you get your worth from? I think that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because you flip that into a modern day societal a societal construct, meaning the way that we live today.
Right. Yeah.
Black women, I can only talk about black women because I don't know shit about white women. Black women are the most educated segment of people in this country. Black women are running fucking 100-yard dashes, 400-meter relays, and fucking high heels are making this shit look good. That is another analogy of how our women are actually doing within society. But yet there's a question still out there of whether or not you should submit to your significant other, your husband, or whatever the case may be. This shit is asinine to me. It's fucking asinine, because relationships, if you talk about present day societal view, the bottom line is respect. The bottom line is having an analytical viewpoint that understands, or that shines a light on, or in your case, you know, reveals what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what your partner's strengths are, what your partner's weaknesses are.
Yeah.
That's what relationships are about. It's about give and take. It's not about, oh, I'm the man.
Right.
You know, you're gonna do what I say. You know, I'm the head of the household. And you know, different strokes for different folks, because a lot of shit works
Right,
based
right.
on based on people working together and saying, okay, yeah, my husband does this, and this,
Yeah.
and I'm fine with that. He likes the fact that I do this, and this, and I'm comfortable with that. So that's how we work. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell people that to do something that doesn't work for your particular situation. My whole point is talking about the submission shit. And I got more, but I'm gonna let you jump in. It seemed like you want to say something. Go ahead.
No, I mean, you hit some key words there, and I think it's more therapeutic for people. Because what you're doing, you're laying out somewhat of a framework for how to. I guess you're assuming that a woman has it all together first, right? That I think
That is,
self identity.
that is primary, because my whole thing is this: is if you're single, which this
Yeah,
particular person was, because she lets everybody know on social media that she's single, doesn't have a husband, can't find a husband, can't find a man,
yeah,
and that's fine. What I mean, I'm not here to pass judgment as to why. That's just the situation that she presents. That's public knowledge. My whole thing is if you're single, you should be trying to do you. You should be trying to do the best you that you can do. Because my philosophy, and I even said this, is on the post, is saying, just keep doing you, and somebody eventually is going to feel that shit. And when you find somebody that's feeling you for you, then you can work with each other with a mutual respect in mind to lay the framework as to how your relationship operates. This shit's like a fucking business, man. You got to have standard operating procedures. You have to have
yeah,
contingency plans just in case those standard operating procedures don't work. You got to have an exit plan. If none of those two things, this shit is like a business. So,
yeah. It
you
is.
my message to to women, especially single women, is if you don't even have a man, the fuck are you even talking about?
Mm,
What are you even asking for? It's like, go out there and take advantage of the opportunity that is being presented to
mm,
Black women at this particular point. It's like Black women are running shit right now. It's a whole lot of shit out there that can be done. A whole lot of money to be made. A whole lot of accolades to be to be collected. Go out there and do you. Start that business and do the things that you want to do.
yeah,
If you work, go harder at work and try to get the promotions that you want to do. Do the things that fortify and edify yourself on the inside, so you can be prepared to share some of that with the person that you do meet. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you should be bound down to any. Because let me tell you something. Because this is the one of the things that really pissed me off about this. And I've said this before on a lot of other shows that we talked about when we talked about the Me Too shit. Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, whatever.
mm,
A lot of times, some of us, I'm talking about Black men, are only worried about getting away with the same type of shit that white men get away with.
mm.
Are those the type of motherfuckers you want to submit to? You know what I'm saying? As a man, the reason why we get chose is because we have to show ourselves worthy of being chosen. It's not the other way around.
Right, right.
It's not, and see, that's where women get the shit twisted. It is not the
Yeah,
other way around. Men have to show themselves worthy enough to be chosen as a mate.
that's
And
exactly.
and if
I
and if
agree.
that and if that woman chooses to, like you said, reveal herself to the point to where she says, "These are my weaknesses. This is what I expect for you, to hold up because I'm
Yeah,
weak in these areas." And the man should be man enough to say, "Look, I can definitely get that, but this is where I'm weak at, and this is where I need you, to compliment me." That's not submission.
right.
That's a working relationship.
But
You know,
you know what the problem is with that though is, or the challenge is controlling your emotions. Really being, because it becomes an emotional thing. And I
right?
can't speak on behalf of women on how to control your emotions or whatever, but I've been around enough women or relationships in my life to have some opinion to it. But I think that's the conflict, bro. Is once they get to that stage, again, it's like you're painting a picture of a good picture of how a woman maybe should matriculate, right? But or develop. But I think the first thing that's going to hit probably for the man and the woman is that emotional piece. And once she decides that, maybe she doesn't know how to choose, right? And that's the problem. They may choose the wrong mate or the wrong person because
we do that shit too, though.
Physical activity, right? Some physical activity went down,
And our batting average isn't really that high as men, bro. I can tell you that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We look at the wrong shit, but my bad, man. Go ahead, finish your point.
No, that was the thought there. Yeah. But it goes back what you say, that the chess game. The queen has to realize who she is on the board, and that comes with confidence. That comes with a self pride or whatever, and just knowing that from the accolades that you said the black women have in this in this country, really in the world, is I'm really the shit. This shit is really my turf.
Really,
let me share my turf with you.
Right. Exactly. And
I'm gonna be the alpha male. We had a show about alpha male, but I'm gonna be the alpha male once I get in here. But I got to get on your turf system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to get chose, bro. You got to get chose. And my whole thing is this, man. Just from a personal perspective, man. I don't want, I don't want a woman that is quote unquote submissive. I want a woman that has a working knowledge of how relationships should work. I don't want somebody to come and just have a wheelbarrow full of dumb shit and just dump on me and say, this is me. Boom, deal with it. You the man.
Yeah.
And ain't the kind of shit that I want, man. It's like I don't want to have to deal with somebody that is. Let me put this in the right way. I don't want to deal with somebody that doesn't necessarily have their shit together from an emotional standpoint. You have to be emotionally intelligent. You have to know what drives the way that you feel. It's okay to have baggage. We all got a little bit, but you got to know why you got it.
Yeah.
So that way, along the way, there may be some experience that I can share, or maybe I know somebody that can help you to talk through that shit, because nobody's flawless. You see what I'm saying? So having baggage is not an exclusive club. We all got that shit. Yeah. But I don't want to deal with somebody that's going to project that bullshit on me. I don't want to deal with somebody that doesn't know how to keep that shit in check when, there's intense discussions that need to take place, because that's all part of a relationship. If any motherfucker out here is telling somebody that, relationships are just smooth sailing, you just, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene, that shit's not a motherfucking relationship. You know what I'm saying? So, and likewise, man, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm the absolute power authority. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you're never challenged, you never grow. Why want to be with somebody that's just gonna let me just do whatever the fuck I want to do, unless I'm just a weak motherfucker. That is, as a flashback to the other show, that is not alpha male behavior.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm just saying, why would I want to be with somebody that's gonna just, I don't know everything. I don't make all the best decisions. I don't make the perfect play, the perfect pass every time. Sometimes I need to get a ball up. You know what I'm saying? Because you open, you gonna shoot. It's just like sometimes I got two people on me. Maybe I'm triple team and you wide open. I'm passing that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't want somebody that can't dribble, can't shoot, and and doesn't know how to go strong to the hole and maybe get us a free throw. I don't want that type of partner. I need a partner that is set on achieving great things, that uses setbacks as learning opportunities, that has some type of vision. And if they don't, they can at least embrace the one that I have and maybe offer experiences that can round that out. It's like one hand washes the other, man. Nobody.
Yeah.
Like I said, the submission shit is so fucking silly to me. It's silly because if you're getting this shit from the Bible, you're a dumbass at this particular. I hate to say it, but you're a dumbass. That is not. It's not practical to apply in the 21st century. This shit is just it just doesn't work. And men on the whole, and I hate to say this shit, but men on the whole cannot be fucking trusted with that. It can't be trusted with that type of motherfucking power. It is we are victims. We are victims of the system of white supremacy.
Right.
We have not brought forth the type of care and the type of and the type of protection and the type of leadership to our community as a whole. I'm not saying that there's aren't standouts here and there, but as a whole, we haven't brought that shit to our community enough to be worthy of being submitted to. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we get successful. We do the things that we do, and we take that wealth and we take that knowledge and we go to other communities to pick mates. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We do all those things that leave Black women behind. That we don't bring them with us when we get successful. We bring other people into our community and convolute it. And water it down. We don't preserve it. That's our responsibility. If you talk about being a leader, if we did that at least nine out of 10 times, then let's talk some submission. But at this particular point, I mean, Black women don't have anything as a whole that is worthy of submission. So, ladies, if you're single out there, that fucking shit off your mind. That shit out of your mind. It's a fucking frivolous conversation. Work on you. Do you? Somebody's gonna feel that shit.
Yeah, that was a great summary, man. It really was, because it sounded like you've been reading some Neely Fuller a little bit, because that's how he sort of describes the Black man and the Black woman as that we are victims in the same system, but as care unit partners or whatever. He's very particular with calling things family or husband and wife or what have you, because he says that we haven't really, earned. I just use the word earn.
Yeah,
haven't earned that husbandry to the point to where I'm so ahead of you and you're so submissive to me. Right? We're in the same system. We're on the same team, trying to reach the same goal. And he says that in a very, very peculiar way in his book. But I think you hit a lot of the points, man. I agree with Base Guy. Again, it's a very subjective definition for everybody. Whatever works for two people. And then when you bring up, I think from historically speaking, when you talk about man-woman relationships, there are external groups. There are other groups outside of melanated people where this attitude or beatitude has been adopted, to where you can see in certain cultures, Roman, Greek, where the woman is, even in sculpture, is depicted as being submissive. But in Africa, in ancient times, the woman is always beside the man. Knowing that the man is still king, the woman is still queen, they have their roles, but she's right there beside them, and they have a family unit. So it's the symbol, if you even take it from a historical perspective, it's culturally speaking, it's sort of made its way to what you have called the social construct of today. And we said on other shows how you can't really adopt certain methods of even 50, 60 years ago, when we had a show talking about, marching and voting and things, use different methods. We have to, bring forth something that is current, something that works today. And like I said, I can't speak for the young crowd specifically. 23 years old, like you say, the earth is your turf.
That's what I'm saying. You got the world at your feet. But it's one last thing that I want to say, man, is because it really, you can't stop what people put on social media or whatever, man. But it really just burns me up when I see all these black women out here posting about, I ain't got no man, I ain't got no husband, I can't find no husband, I can't find no man. That should just add,
I know.
that shit just burns me up because honestly, man, I mean, there's normally reasons why, and they can see our other show as to what makes women attractive, and then they can maybe kind of look in the mirror. It's not a diss, it's just what we observe, and in some of our personal beliefs. But
Yeah.
really, what really gets to me is that you can tell a lot by well, let me back up and say a lot of stuff is lost in translation in terms of social media and text and things like that, what people post. But normally, if you don't feel something, you don't necessarily post. I'm not just reposting shit because it's something that I don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? It's something normally
Right.
that strikes me in a certain way, or is beneficial to some other endeavor that I'm in. With that being said, I figure that if a woman reposts something or posts something, and it's something that has touched her in some type of way. So with that being said, when you put out there that nobody wants me, or I'm gonna be single forever, I ain't gonna do nothing on Valentine's Day because I ain't got no man,
Right.
all the shit that we had to look at all February, you know
Hmm.
that's energy that you put out there.
Right. I was
That,
going to use the word.
that's palatable. That's palatable energy for
Yeah.
somebody else that is reading that, or seeing your video or whatever. That's palatable energy that you're putting out there, and there may be a reason why you haven't found somebody that's willing to deal with that shit. Because introspectively thinking, ladies, if you think about it, and men too. I mean, I just don't want to, because I'm not a man versus woman dude. That's
Mm,
not my stilo at all. So
mm.
uh, but introspectively thinking, from a man's perspective, when I see shit like that, what I think is like, this chick just looking for somebody or somewhere to dump her
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
to dump her loneliness. She's gotten so lonely that she can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
That loneliness has penetrated her spirit so much that there's nothing else productive that she can do except post about how lonely she is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, well,
if it's true, it's a shame, and I hate it for you. But that's what it looks like.
yeah.
You see,
It's,
that's what it looks
yeah.
like, and I feel like
Mm.
that our women are a lot better than that. There's so much more
Yeah.
that they already do contribute, and there's so many different things going on that women can attach themselves to, as a sisterhood for the greater good of our community, than to worry about whether or not you want to be up under some motherfucking man or not.
Yeah.
There's a time and place for everything, but
Yeah.
it just bugs me. It's like, you want the selfie, you don't want the bigger picture. You want a
Yeah.
motherfucker you can lay up under and dump all your emotional loneliness on and not do anything else.
Yeah. There's vulnerability, and you attract what you put out. So all
Exactly.
that negative energy, and vibes, that's what you're going to attract. And then here comes the wrong dude, is looking for that weakness,
Looking for that
and is
weakness.
like,
Don't take advantage of
oh,
it.
here we go. She already told me
Right.
she's vulnerable. Let me
Right.
prowl on that and see.
Right.
And
Let,
then
let
they
me let
say,
me
well,
say everything. Let me say everything I need to say to shore
yeah,
that up in her mind. Like, oh, this is the one.
right. Then
But
men ain't shit when she finds out that, so it takes some work.
we
It
good at
takes
that, bro. We will exploit a motherfucking vulnerability or weakness in a minute.
in a
And
second.
and that's just some shit that the women need to understand. If you fucking lonely, keep that shit to yourself, man. Keep that fucking
Yeah.
shit to yourself. I mean, just do yourself a favor.
Mm,
Women, if you are lonely, do yourself a fucking favor and keep that shit to yourself.
mm,
If you are in search of a man or need a man, or so unhappy because you don't have a man, do yourself a favor and keep that bullshit to yourself, because you're going to end up getting played. That's
mm,
just how it is. You're going to get played before you find Mr. Right. That's
mm.
that's that's just the odds, because there's more of us, out here looking for y'all than it is y'all looking for us.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I mean, the ratio to women is higher, but there's more of us out there looking to run that
Right.
game. Is what it
Right.
is.
And I think a real dude who's in that position to sort of be searching for that queen, he'll know, he'll know organically if she's lonely, right? Her loneliness will show through maybe how she operates, her disposition, whatever. So you don't advertise the shit. Just he'll figure that shit out, and
Figure this shit
he'll
out.
yeah.
And let me tell you, bro, and we'll go wrap it up in a second, man. But I will, and this is what the kids say now on God, on God.
Mhm.
Some of the most successful and happy women I know don't have a fucking man in sight.
Mm.
Some of the even happier women I know run men like men run women. And they happy as hell. They're happy as hell not to be fucking bothered with the shit that a relationship actually brings because it's work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for women going out, getting, go out and get it how you live. If that's how you do it, go out and fucking do it. You know, but you got to understand that that's the relationship doesn't fucking define you. Having a man doesn't make you any better of a woman.
Right.
Having a man doesn't wash away all the fucking insecurity that you have. Having a man doesn't make you lose 100 pounds if you're insecure about that. It doesn't shrink your nose if you're insecure about that. It doesn't shrink your lips. You still got to be the same motherfucker is what I'm saying. So adding a man or a woman to the mix doesn't make any of that shit go away. So you got to have all that shit done, packaged up and ready to go to be involved in any type of situation that you're getting into. You can't be trying to solve an issue before you bring somebody else into the fold. So if you want to go out there and you want to have 3 or 4 dudes, fine, have at it. Because I guarantee you that the dude that's coming to you, that's playing on your vulnerability, he has 4 or 5 different women. So,
right.
I mean, you might as well, like I said, get it how you live, man. But quit putting that bullshit out there on Facebook and Instagram and all these other places and shit. You just look desperate, lonely, and it's not fucking attractive. It's not attractive at all. So
let me ask you real quick. Do you personally respond to those posts, like in the comments? Or at least on the one that you talk about, did you respond?
Well, this particular person, I know her.
Oh, okay.
And so, I just asked, I just put out there, I was like, this conversation is so played out. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, why are you trying to adopt some archaic social norms that aren't really applicable to the society that we live in? And that's why I was saying that women have to think about how they get, if you're trying to have the conversation with another person about submission, you have to think about, where do I get this belief? Where do I get these ideals? Why am I thinking this way? And because at the end of our back and forth, I said, I guess the answer is, why are you even worried about it, especially if you're single? And I'm thinking, like, where are you getting this from? Where are you really getting it from? If you figure that out, then you'll understand whether or not, if that's even a viable question for you. I mean, and I'm not knocking anybody's religion and shit like that, but a lot of this shit, like I said, is passed down through religion, via some, indoctrination type of process. It's like, your mama went to church 3 times a week. Your grandmama went to church 3 times a week. Your great grandmother went to church 5 times a week. And there's a lot of this shit is passed down, and it's just absorbed that way, because that's just the way it is. Doesn't mean that it's necessarily good just because that's the way it is. So, that was one of my points, as to say, where you really getting this shit from? And why are you even thinking about it? If you're single, you need to be the best single. We're going to be in the best single. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody gonna feel it. I'm telling you, man. I'll be, I can't tell you, man, how many times I'm just out here just doing me, and I get approached just because I'm me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't looking for shit. It's just it's just what it is.
Yeah.
So, women need to do the exact same thing. Do you very well. Continue to do you. Run laps around these motherfuckers doing you. You know what I'm saying? High step in that motherfucker while you running laps around them and shit. But just continue to do you, and somebody's gonna feel that shit. Stay the fuck off social media with that dumb shit.
There it is, man.
It is, man. So, hey, just want to let everybody know, man, that in addition to Apple Podcasts, we are on Google Play, we're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, Podbean. The RSS feed is public, so people jack it and they post it everywhere, which is a good thing. It's getting us a little bit more visibility, man. You know, we got some more hot content coming to you on YouTube now. Hope everybody's subscribing to the channel. If not, you a buster. Subscribe to the channel. We're gonna be putting some shit up on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. As soon as I get my flow down and getting all this content out, man, we got tons of shit that's gonna be coming out. And hope you guys are enjoying it so far, man. So, Reg, you got anything else?
Nah, that's it, man. Be good, be safe, and behave, brother.
All right, brother. We'll see you on the back end, man.
All right, peace, bro.
Peace.